I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Good evening, this is Dr. Bones Live, and today my guest is Redwitch Johnny. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well, how about yourself?
We're all doing pretty good, enjoying this good old Oklahoma weather. It's changes from about 70 degrees to about 15 in one day.
In a day, yeah.
That's crazy.
It sounds like here, because right now, I'm not sure Fahrenheit-wise, but we're sitting at minus 35 Celsius with the wind chill.
Wow.
That does not sound cool.
Yeah, I know, and we're supposed to break and get warm by Friday, but yeah, it's been a very cold snap, and I'm ready for winter to be done.
Oh, definitely. We're ready for summer to hit and ready to look forward to some new shows coming up this summer, so we're pretty excited about this year.
So, first off, Redwitch Johnny, was that like kind of a group ever thought, or was it kind of like something you thought about for a while, kind of just kind of pop into your head? How'd that name come about?
Well, it like all good stories, it involved beer. We were all sitting around drinking one night, and we had the name Redwitch for a while, but didn't think that it just went by itself, so we needed something else to go with it. So we were all just throwing around names and drinking beer, and our old bass player's dad's name was Johnny, and we were sitting around and decided that was a really cool name to fit together, so that's how it went. Then we woke up the next morning and we were like, that's still a cool name.
Well, that's always key. It's always going to sound good the next day after everything went down.
Because we thought at the time it was the greatest thing ever, and we woke up the next morning and was like
30 pack in.
Yeah, it was like a 30
ever.
30 pack in. It was the greatest thing ever. So the next morning we were all hungover and we were like, it's still a cool name, so it has to stay.
Yeah, I've had a couple ideas, not for band names, but a couple ideas, and next morning woke up passed out on my stairs. so don't know how I got there, but assumingly it was a good night. So.
Oh yeah,
those are always the best stories, the one you can't remember.
So, moving on from that, obviously two of your brothers. How did the rest of you meet? Were you guys just in school together? Did you guys meet like through other bands? Like, how did you guys meet?
Well, I'm the drummer, Denton Hopkins, and I actually knew Kevin's friend because I worked at the sheriff's department with him, and he just so happened to be a bass player for him. And about, I'd say 6 years ago, we got together and started playing, and that's basically how we met. And then our new bass player, I was a roommate with him going to college for about a year and had no idea he played bass guitar.
Oh, no way.
Our recent bassist quit, and I asked him, man, can you help us out? We're in desperate need to find a bass player. And he was just, yeah, man, I can, flick the strings a little bit, comes out, blows our mind, playing behind his back, all kinds of stuff. So he's a really good attribute to the band.
That's always the best thing, eh? When they say, "Oh, no, I'm just your average," and then you're like, "Wow, I was not expecting that at all."
Yeah, to look at him, he doesn't look like he can play. I mean, he doesn't look like he would. He doesn't look like he would be the most epic guy in the life to play bass, but he fits us so well.
So when you guys got together initially, did you guys have in mind what, well, if you want to call it style of music you wanted to play, or was it you're just gonna play around with a few different sounds first before it kind of caught your ear and sounded good?
Well, me and the brother over here that hasn't said anything.
I've said things.
Okay.
Nothing about a 30 pack.
Okay, well.
The Nero back there, I heard things.
We've always been into 70s and 80s style music. We grew up listening to it, and it's pretty just kind of
the only thing we can play.
Yeah, we can play, really. I mean, we tried a little alt rock stuff for a while, but it all falls back to wanting to play 70s and 80s style rock music.
It's what we grew up with. It's
Yeah.
what's in our soul and our blood.
Yeah.
I mean,
Our brains are wired for that, so that's what we get.
it comes out naturally. So
Well, I was noticing because I was checking out your bio on Facebook and that sort of thing, just looking at some of your influences, and I noticed the Black Crows, and I was like, you know what? After I read that, it's like, you know what? I can actually tell a little bit of influence in a few of the songs.
Yeah, we're big Crows fans, big Bob Dylan fans, which you can't really tell Bob Dylan that much, but most bands that claim to be Bob Dylan influenced him, you really can't tell the Bob Dylan influence anyways. It's all so out there, but
yeah.
Well, right, but you know, from playing like folk to kind of like more of a kind of like that classic rock, you know, 70s, 80s. I think this is just my personal thought. I would think that more or less they think they're influenced, but maybe more lyrically than musically.
yeah, it's definitely a lyric thing with Dylan. He's the man, 100%.
Well, yeah. So, and it just, yeah. I mean, that would be my guess, and it makes sense, you know. But it's one thing to be a fan of, and it's another thing to copy. So that's what a lot of these bands are. Well, some of them are doing, and it's kind of getting annoying. You know, it's like you're not gonna duplicate them, and it's just like you gotta have some of your own sound, because even though you guys are playing like 70s, 80s, you still have your own defined sound that is Redwitch Johnny. You know, it's completely yours. It's not somebody else's.
Right, and we set out to do that in the beginning. I mean, we didn't ever want it to be a cover band of another band that we liked. We always wanted our own sound, so...
Yeah, even our covers, we try and change them so they sound like something that we might have wrote.
And then, people won't notice what the song is until they hear the lyrics, and, I mean, it just surprises everyone. They're like, wow, this band, you know, they're really intelligent on how to switch around things in the music to make it their very own, make it Redwitch Johnny music.
Well, you know, and that's what's fun about doing some covers, you know, is putting your own spin on it. And then, and you know, but it's, I guess, well, I mean, I do play guitar, but no, I'm not in a band like you guys, but I would think it's got to be a little, it's got to be fun, but it's got to be a little kind of like, no, we got to make sure we do a good job with this thing, because we don't want to like essentially destroy the song, which other bands have destroyed so many of their songs. So.
Oh yeah, and we'll try a bunch of stuff, and if we just don't think we can do it justice, we just won't play it, because there's no sense in trying to butcher something to make it our own if it's not going to work out in the first place.
Yeah, or say, you know, one practice, it's not going so good, we won't put it in a show, in a set list, until we know for sure we have it backwards and forwards, upside down. I mean, we make sure we give our very best 110% and make sure the audience appreciates what we do for them. So, I mean, if it's not up to par, it's not going to happen.
Oh, and that's a good thing, you know, and because you're absolutely right. You know, you're playing for the audience, but you're also playing for yourselves as well. So, you know, you want a good quality sound coming out of the group of you, and as well as the crowd enjoying it. And obviously, the crowd enjoys it, makes that much more better. You know, it's easier to kind of feed off their energy that they're already giving out to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the crazier the crowd is, the more hype they give us, and you know, we give them hype, and it's just feedback and forth, and it's an awesome feeling. I mean, adrenaline pumps, and you meet a lot of cool people that way.
Now, do you find when you guys have been playing live that you get you improv just a little bit more of some of the songs, and maybe like, you know, add a few extra drum rolls in, maybe a few extra solos, maybe just kind of throw in some different lyrics?
Oh yeah, we're bad about improving a lot.
Yeah.
It's a better feeling live, and the recordings that we got right now are actually with our old bass player and old drummer. So the new drummer didn't hear, and the bass player adds a whole completely, a whole better sound. Actually, the newest song that we done, the All For You, that's up right now, it's with the new bass player and drummer. So you can tell from that one going to like Fear My Flame or something that the drums and the bass are just way more prominent.
No, I actually have noticed that as well. That's because one thing I like to do when I listen to songs is like kind of just pick them apart. I just like to kind of get, I guess we'll call it the full effect of the song.
Yeah.
So that way, you know, I can appreciate it more, you know, whether it's lyrically. And a lot of times it's a fun thing too. And there's still songs today that I've heard a million one times. And every once in a while, if I go out for a walk or whatever and I put the earphones in, it's like, how come I never noticed that before? And just I'm like, And that always makes it a lot more fun, right? Because you're always picking new stuff up, and it makes the song that much more in depth, and it almost gives people more to look forward to, especially if they really dig the song.
Oh, definitely, man.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you first. It's all about you guys tonight. So. Okay. All I was gonna ask about was you guys have an upcoming EP coming out. Do you have like a timeline on it yet?
Actually, that was what I was gonna say. That's weird.
Oh, right on.
February off to finish our album. We're planning on just
most of March off too.
Yeah, we plan on just finishing our entire album because there's 10 or 11 songs that we need to get down with and recorded with the new guys. And
yeah, we're gonna take all of February and then most of March to make sure we get that done and get it out as soon as possible. So hopefully, if everything plans out how we want, end of March, it will be ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, right on. Now, that being said, do you guys plan to re-record some of the old songs with Dent and the new bass player?
Yeah, actually, pretty much everything that we recorded is going to get re-recorded, just because it's a new sound, and basically new band. I mean, same name, but it'll definitely all get re-recorded.
Now, besides the drumming being more prominent and that sort of thing, are these songs going to be kind of reworked at all? I mean, I know it's going to be kind of the fitting the two new members, but beyond that, you guys feel like some of them maybe need work, or just stuff you can add to it?
Well, being the new drummer, I mean, I don't want to vary the old feeling of the song very much. I do want to put my own kind of style into the song, but I want it to have the same feeling. I want it to have the same music quality it had before, but definitely show, my style, my feelings I have for the song with my drumming. I mean,
we didn't really rework any of the old ones, really. Like, as far as, like, adding new stuff into the song. Besides, like, we added a bridge in Fever My Flame so we could introduce ourselves at shows. Like, that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah. Just a curiosity. Some bands tend to do that, so I'm always curious of how the dynamic of the band works. Which brings me to my next question: is when you guys like sit down and jam, record, is it always a group effort, or does one person bring one thing to the table, another person brings the other thing to the table, or is it just a complete group effort?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'll say, hey guys, I came up with this for this part of the song. What do you think? And we'll all put our input in. And I mean, if one person says, no, I don't think that works right there, we'll try something new, because once we all agree, we know it's something great. But I mean, if somebody has a little, offstandish feeling about it, then we'll definitely, relook it and see what we can do about it.
Yeah, because we try to make the song fit everybody in the band, so everybody in the band wants to play the song. So you don't just got two guys over there thinking this is the greatest thing ever, and the other two guys, I hate this. This is so boring.
Well, fair enough, and it's always one of the best ways to go, because otherwise it kind of, I don't necessarily get boring, but just one person taking the helm, you don't ever feel like you've got to put your 2 cents in when you think it's needed.
Right, and our old members, me and the brother write a lot of the songs and everything, and our old members wouldn't put enough input into it. So
they never had any suggestions.
Yeah,
add stuff to.
There was no suggestions from them. Just whatever we had, that was it. They were fine with it. And with the new drummer and bass player, they're always super excited to put their own input in. And hey, we need to do this here. Hey, can we try this here? What would this sound like?
30-minute guitar solo.
So it works out better. When everybody's putting your own input, everything, because then everybody's happy.
Oh, right on, that's good to hear. So we're gonna take just a quick little break here, and we're gonna listen to "Coming Down." All right, so we'll be back in about 4 minutes or so. This is Redwitch Johnny with "Coming Down." All right, that was Coming Down, Redwitch Johnny. Now, did you have something to say, or do you want to move to the next question?
Yeah, I was saying that I think it's Shelter. Is it the one we?
That's the working title. That's
the working
That's
title.
working.
We're awful with titles.
Like the song that came out.
This song is like 6.5 minutes long, and it's just.
Oh no, that's Magnolia.
Oh,
You're thinking of
Magnolia. Okay, never mind. Different song. Magnolia.
It's our tribute to like Southern rock, like gospel ballads. I wouldn't say not gospel, just ballads, I guess.
Yeah.
Little feet in there or something.
Yeah, some little feet in there.
All right, on. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with having one long song, but it's just a matter of the way you carry it, and that's the whole thing, right? Is you gotta keep the listener interested, and that's the biggest thing about making a long song is being able to create that kind of we'll call it aura to the music that keeps that person interested the entire time. Because obviously, immediately, as we all know, there's some long songs that you get bored of and almost falling asleep halfway through.
Yeah, because the first minute of the song sounds like the other 7 minutes of the song, and you're like, oh, please just skip. We've heard this.
Yeah. Magnolia, it keeps your interest all the way to the end, and it's a classic, steady rock beat and crazy, 80s guitar solo, and we want to get,
It's our longest song.
It's our longest
probably
song.
Probably going to be our only 6-minute song.
Yeah.
Most things don't get past like 3:30 or 4.
Because in this day and age, if you pass 4 minutes in a song, the listeners get bored.
I get bored.
Well, all the other thing is too is the younger generation, a lot of them are like really ADD, so
Exactly.
they're only focused for so long. But you know what? It's kind of just on that note, real quickly. One band kind of managed to kind of harness that, but still make long songs because pretty much their music was like rock on ADD, which is the Mars Volta.
Oh God, yeah.
So there's
It's a great way to describe them.
Yeah, like big fan, but that's a perfect way to keep their attention. They're all over the place. So, but that's just the generation we're going up with. And as far as the long songs go, one band that does it fairly well. Sometimes even I'll get a little bored. Is Tool.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The old bass player was a really big Tool fan, and he always wanted to try to play Tool, and he was like, let's play some Tool, and I'm like, I love the band, but I don't ever want to try to play the band, because after so long, you're like, it's got to be over now.
Yeah.
We've got to finish this.
I'm gonna get bored and start playing with my keyboard.
No, I can definitely see that. But yeah, so I mean, and I was just kind of funny that we just I'll touch on that just because those are the two bands that popped in my head right away, and just in general, you're right. The 3.5 minutes is a decent time for a song, and you can pretty much get all you want to get in. And sometimes, even if you want to, let's say, put in a little bit more, it doesn't necessarily always fit the song. And
yeah, we've tried that before too. Like, try to put extra in the song, and it
takes away
from what was there to begin with. So you're like, just take it out.
It takes away what we initially wanted to get across with our music, and it made what we wrote basically useless. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't us anymore.
Because I think we've got songs that just barely pass the 3-minute mark. Like, is that long enough, or should we try more?
Stuff you'll play it, and then it'll feel really short when you get through with it. And you're like, oh Jesus, I don't think that was quite long enough.
Yeah, but then you try to add something to it, and you're like, it's
just not right.
Let's just leave it. It's fine. They'll like it, whatever.
yeah. But I can imagine at some points that's got to be just like a little frustrating when you got that idea in your mind and you're just not quite sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We have that a lot, but most of we do judgment and say it came out that way to begin with. Let's just leave it, because usually when you
if it comes out and sounds great the first time,
yeah,
you really don't want to like mess with it too much, but then it gets rid of whatever made it sound so good the first time.
Now, do you guys find when you jam, do you guys ever have like do you ever, let's say, like, butt heads at all, just because like it's
Oh yeah. All the time, man.
There's two brothers in the band.
Yeah, I should say me and Michael over here, we
you see brotherly love.
we'll be yelling across the room at each other. Yeah,
It's
just
usually-
shut up, I hate you.
It's usually that one of our guitars is too loud or something.
Turn down. You turn up. No, you shut up. And then you gotta take a little break.
Yeah, you're like,
Drink a beer
learn
or
to
something.
play. Yeah, it's
That's
like,
what
learn to
beer
play the
gets
song. I wrote the song. Right.
Oh man.
And other than that, though, with the new members, we don't really fuss that much. Of course, me and the brothers gonna fight, but
It's not really fighting.
no, it's not. We haven't ever got a fist fight.
I would wait anyway.
So
But yeah, there's definitely conflict, but it's not conflict enough
Creative
where
conflict.
yeah, it's creative conflict. Yeah, and I was gonna say we resolve it quick enough that it doesn't. We don't leave the band practice hating each other. So
Oh, that's definitely a good thing. It's, I've heard some stories, and essentially like that. Nothing really bad, but it's always funny to hear some of the stories because you can just imagine what's going on. You can just picture what's going on, and it just makes you laugh, right? Because obviously you're an outsider looking it in. So
yeah, I played in a couple bands before where you leave practice, and you're like, I just hate those guys. I just hate them so much. I'm never coming back. And then you turn around, they'll be there the next time, and you're like, oh hey guys, I love you again. I changed my mind.
kind of like a Eric Cartman relationship from South Park. Yeah. God damn it, I hate you guys. So, do you guys have any upcoming gigs planned, or just any shows in general that you want to mention?
We're playing
Heroes.
at Heroes. It's a bar that we've got into in Fort Smith,
Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forget.
We're,
Yeah, which is like the next state over, but it's not very far of a drive from where we live, from Oklahoma to there. So we usually play out of state most of the time, and they've been good to us. We played there 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was our first time.
And it was our first time playing in that town, and most of the people that came stayed for the whole show because they really enjoyed us because we're something different than they're used to hearing. So they've all said that they're definitely going to be back. So hopefully it works out better in that town than it has in some other towns.
Now, once the album's released, do you plan to maybe do like maybe a few more different states, like kind of in the surrounding, quote unquote, surrounding area?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying. We actually even talked about going overseas for a little while to like London and stuff. There's like 2 or 3 bands in Sheffield that really like us and we're buddies with, and they've been wanting us to come to the UK and play, but that's a little further down the road. There,
Yeah.
it takes more than $7 in a tank of gas to get there. So.
Yeah. Go
We're
ahead.
definitely trying to expand a little bit and go to more states because there's nothing in Oklahoma as far as the rock scene goes that they really care for us that much.
Yeah, it's either metal or country, like
Yeah.
country music.
And
Strange.
we've got a lot of connections in places like New York, Wisconsin, Kansas. I mean, I'll have a
Those
connection.
randoms, dude.
I know, most
Right.
I said, and then like Washington, but I mean, we've got connections. We just gotta really
Not
talk
be
to them.
broke.
Not be broke. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, it takes money to do the different states that you want to play. I'm just curious because Michigan is the closest state to me, so I was gonna say if you guys ever make it to Michigan, then you can count me in for the show.
Oh, definitely.
Heck
Yeah, man. That
Now we have to go to
Now we have to go to Michigan.
Because it's like a 2-hour drive, and my old man's down there, so it's all good.
cool. Awesome.
That's a way longer drive for us.
Yeah.
Like 16-hour drive.
That would be.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it is.
We'll Google that later.
Yeah. I would imagine it's gonna be at least half a day at the very least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to another song here because we're gonna show the difference between the drums in coming down to the newest song with Dent the Newest Jumper, and it's the other bit more prominent. So this song is called All For You, and this is a Redwitch Johnny.
Sweet. Awesome.
your job since the day you were born. We're dancing on tables to feel more at home, yeah. Take a good look, mama, you won't see me. Waiting around here to set you free, yeah. Life been out singing my song, living on the run so you'll be alone. Taking my time, but don't get me wrong, it's for you. It's all for you. Down in the gutters where you find me. We're keeping out with your company, yeah. Take a good look, mama, you won't see me. Waiting around here to set you free, yeah. 'Cause I've been out singing my song, living on the run since you've been alone. Taking my time, but don't get me wrong, it's for you. It's all for you. Life been out singing my song, living on the run since you've been alone. Taking my time, but don't get me wrong, it's for you. It's all for you. All for you. All for you, mama. Yeah. All for you.
All right, that was All For You, Redwitch Johnny with a new drummer. Dan, you can definitely tell the drums were more prominent. During the break, we were talking about digital media and how it just made things so much better as far as connecting with people. And we were just talking about that on the break and talking about James from Boardwalk Isabella and talking about bands, helping other bands out. And you're right, he is a great guy. I mean, he's helped me out with passing bands along on to me for my new music show on Saturday. And then, you know, I get a lot of interviews out of the deal, and it works for me because I love the music, and it's nice that it happens that way.
Yeah, he's been super supportive. His music is so cool. I mean, it's stuff that, like, we like, and then in turn he likes us. So, and then it all kind of sounds the same. So we're all in the same category of, if you like this band, you're gonna like this band, and
It's kind of like a Pandora radio station.
Yeah.
Whenever you click on like Motley Crue, you're going to hear bands that sound like Motley Crue, that are kind of like Motley Crue. I mean, after you listen to it for like 2 days, it turns into country. I don't know how that happens.
Motley Crue's related to everything.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he's done great things for us, and we're really thankful.
So, with that being said, how have you found that, like, besides James being able to help you guys out, how was the social media work for you? And obviously, Twitter, SoundCloud, that sort of thing.
When we signed up for Twitter, it was like a whole new door opening, because we've not been the biggest Twitter fans in life, but I'm addicted to Twitter now. I'm always on Twitter.
Yeah, I know, so am I.
Twitter shares better. You can get your stuff across easier on Twitter than you can, say, Facebook or something like that, because
Facebook, people just click your page and they're like, well done, I liked it. They
Yeah.
won't pay attention
yeah,
to it.
they won't pay attention to you anymore. And Twitter, you can,
Be in their face every second of the day.
Yeah.
Remember
Force
me?
them to like us.
yeah,
No, that's... Go ahead.
it helped out a bunch.
Well, you know what? It's pretty much the way it's going. Is Twitter is such a good thing, and you know it's helped me. It's been unbelievable. You know, just the amount of bands and able to pick up and interview and play their music has just been unreal. And it's so nice to have all this like a huge variety of music to play, because it's always something nice for me because I was always got something new to listen to, and I'm always looking for new bands to play and interview. So it's worked wonders for me as well.
Yeah, SoundCloud's the same way. You don't really realize how many independent artists are out there until you get on Twitter and SoundCloud, and you're like, wow, Reverb Nation, you're like, there's still hope in life, that there's good music out there, it's just not mainstream yet.
Oh, that's right, and it's just one of those things. Even with all digital media, it has helped out a great deal, but it's just a matter of, I guess, somewhat being in the right place at the right time. Because, let's face it, the big record companies are kind of slowly but surely sinking, and it's going via the way of digital media. But just getting more and more people interested is pretty much what it'll ultimately come down to. But, it can move pretty fast. I mean, you never know what can happen. That's the nice part about it. With all this stuff out there, you never know who's going to be listening.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the shocker for us, because we'll be played on the radio or something in the UK, and then we'll get like 4 or 5 messages from other people, and they're like, you guys are really awesome and stuff, and you don't realize that there's so many people across the world listening to you on digital media, or they can just click on your band link, and
That we would never get.
we would never get if we just tried to go play live shows all the time. Because you broadcast to hundreds of people, and then digital media,
And then it goes out
millions.
to space and gets to aliens and other.
Some alien somewhere rocking a V-neck right now. No, it's happening, dude. You don't know.
Yeah, the truth is out there, right? So, no, it's always nice to hear, and you're right, because it now, before, you'd have to play like 1,000,001 shows before, finally someone heard you or you got picked up. Now, you're kind of doing both, so it's you've got more than one outlet to do it, and you're right. It's got to be an awesome feeling hearing people literally across the ocean in the UK listen to you, because before, very rarely that stuff would happen. You'd have to wait for someone from their country to bring it in, saying, I found this, or you found it in an indie shop somewhere.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things about technology these days. It's helped out a bunch, and it just makes us happy that somebody actually listens to us and likes us. Because
growing up, wanting to live the rock star life, being a musician and everything, I always thought you had to become super famous, had to have somebody, recognize you, sign a huge record label before you got to,
anybody in another country would
would even
Anyone in the same country with us would
in the next state would even recognize us. But social media, and just having the ability to record and
on our own,
and things like that, and it's helped out more than we could ever really acknowledge or dream or anything. So it's crazy. It blows my mind.
Well, and I'm very, very, like I said before, I'm very, very thankful for this media, because I wouldn't be here doing this right now with you guys, so if it weren't for the social media.
Oh, yeah.
And so, guys, that's all I have. So now it's time, if you guys want to give any shout-outs, the floor is all yours.
Oh, let's see.
I want to give a shout-out to my mom for making me practice every day.
Got anybody? Oh, the bass player, Cub.
Jacob Buller.
Yeah, Jacob Buller. He's not here.
He's working.
He's working, sadly.
Say your name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is Kevin Kimball. This is me talking. That's the other brother. Guitar players. And then we've got...
And then the psycho crazy drummer.
Not that crazy.
Not that crazy.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Shout outs to all the bands and everybody on Twitter and Facebook.
Shout out to Braver Than Fiction.
Oh, yes. Braver Than Fiction. You need to look him up. Shout out to you for sure, because without you, we wouldn't be doing this interview right now. And you helped out.
Man.
Yeah, and the sharing and the liking and everything. It's made our day.
Shout out to everybody that's took the time to like us.
Yeah, and actually listen.
Yeah, they're the ones. The fans. Shout out to all the fans. They're the ones that make this happen. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm glad we finally got together because I know we had a few scheduling issues, but that's all good because we got a chance to do it because I was really looking forward to this one. So, guys, thank you for taking the time to come on the show today.
Hey,
No
thanks,
problem,
man.
man. Thank you.
All right, so guys, that was Redwitch Johnny, and I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I did. We heard a couple of songs. We heard Coming Down and All For You. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for listening. Bones out.